Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the chat box to let me know that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I did not think we were going to put this many people in class today with it being holiday week and all. Hey, Erica, how are you? Sarah, we had a fantastic Christmas. Thank you very much. I hope you guys all did as well, those that celebrate. Hey, Kevin, good afternoon. Great to see you, my friend. Speaking of which, see, let me get that turned on there. Zoom is unable to detect a camera. Okay, again. So I went through this with them once before. And it is not the update. Will had told me the last time we did this, it was the update or an update from Microsoft had messed with the camera, but I'm able to use the camera in other programs. So not sure what it is. Hey, Alexandra, yes, that is correct. You will not be able to do that. We have that closed off for our trainings. Excellent. Well, good afternoon again, or morning, guys, depending on where you're all at. Let me grab a mouse here. Not what I wanted to bring up just yet, but let's try that again. Maybe we should go through and get a disclaimer up there first. What do you think? All right, good. Just out of curiosity, how's trading been going today? Give me some updates in the chat box. Did you trade, not trade? What did you do? How did you do? Big Brother doesn't feel like watching today, Robert? Yeah, they're watching already. I mean, they're watching through the plastic cover on the camera. It doesn't matter. They watch. They know how to get it. Enjoying the holidays. There you go, Sarah. That's me. Just way too much stuff going on family-wise. We cooked a huge breakfast this morning together and waffles and all that good kind of stuff and just made a mess all over the kitchen and just had fun. It is extreme frustration, the updates, Deborah. I mean, I've gotten 8 or 9 of them. Will said Roku is going good. Excellent. Oh, let me get my tracking sheet so I can get a better idea where we're at. Yeah, we had a bullish call on Roku. Let's see. All right. Alexander said, set up for a $2,000 trade last night. Didn't enter it. Oh, sorry to hear that, Alexandra. Denise had traded a Tesla, 1 contract, $210. There you go. Trader Will said some pop 5K trades. He's up $300 today. Alexander said hers was on gold, by the way. Nothing filled yet from Covered Call Explorer. Yeah, I didn't, I looked a little bit this morning on it, John, and just my heart's just not in it. I got so much family stuff going on this week. I managed some of my trades. I do have an exit in place on one of my positions that I put in this morning. Excellent. Alexandra said using Brandon's zone technique. That's great. Yeah, Kevin said no trades as of yet. I thought it'd be lighter volume, so I missed the bus. Well, it was news driven today, right? With the president signing the bill that he said he was not going to sign, right? So all of that drove that. So, all right, good. So it sounds like a couple of you got some really good trades off. Excellent. Let's go through what we've got set up for the upcoming. I got Patterns in a Flash coming up on the 6th of January, which is a bonus for those of you that are subscribed to Patterns in a Flash. Trading You is coming up on January 7th. Mastering the Trade is a bonus if you're in power option plays. It's coming up on January 8th. And some of you are sitting there going, wait, January 8th. I know that date. That's a Friday. Yes, see, it's a Friday. We're going to start taking advantage and using Fridays for some of our trainings. We just don't have enough dates on the calendar any longer. And as we bring Ryan Litchfield on, there's going to be even more dates needed as well. So it's going to be Friday. Brandon's teaching E-mini scalping, which I'm excited for. That's my favorite part of the way that I like to use E-minis is to scalp them. So I'm looking forward to that class. He's doing that on the 8th at noon. We've got Monster Market Movers on the 14th and Inner Circle on the 21st. Mastermind group each and every Tuesday, including this Tuesday. I'm doing the training tomorrow night. And then we've got free online workshops, Power Hour. Here we are, the last one of the year, folks. I'm excited. I've got some great stuff for us today. And then Key to Be Free. Some of you may remember we put that training on last month on Key to Be Free. I've got 2 of them scheduled in January. And yes, you are seeing correctly. It is a Sunday. It's a Sunday, yes. I told you, you're going to start seeing some different things on the calendar. And these are going to be both of them at 1 p.m. Power Option Plays is on regular schedule this week. So is Covered Call Explorer. E-mini Think Tank, we will not be teaching Thursday. It's New Year's Eve holiday as far as we're concerned. So there'll be no E-mini, but everything else is on schedule. Friday's supposed to be a date. Let me see. What do you mean Friday's supposed to be a date? Did I do something wrong? January 8th, 8 p.m. No, I think I got it right. Robert, date night. Got it. Yeah, it is supposed to be date night, Robert. I agree, but who really is going out? Right? How do we get access to Brandon's class on scalping? Hey, Brandon, you're in here with us today, aren't you? I think you are.
I certainly am.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You have a good weekend?
Oh, always. Yeah. Just nice and relaxing, nice and warm, and kept walking the dogs outside. I mean, I'm down in South Florida, so it's much nicer out here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have to rub it in for those of us that are not in nice and warm, you know.
Well, it got chilly today. I mean, it's been getting down in the 40s in the evening, so it's been a little chilly, but not bad the rest of the time.
Well, we're getting into 50s today, so I'm excited about that. We only have one day that we're going to get to. The highs are going to be under 40 degrees for one day over the next week and a half or so. So that's very exciting in January to see that. But
yeah. Well, actually, I got a couple of questions there. I guess I should answer for you real quick.
Yeah, the one on the scalping in particular.
Yeah, on scalping, actually, what I'm going to do is we're going to change the schedule around a little bit there compared to what you just saw. On the scalping session, we're actually going to do that a little bit earlier in the morning. We're going to start the session at 9 a.m. for the E-mini Think Tank scalping. And in order to get access to that, you just have to be a member of the E-mini Think Tank. So if you're not a member currently, you can go ahead and enroll. And there's a 2-week free trial for anybody who wants to join. You just go ahead and go to I can't remember what the page is. I got to look it up real quick. But if you join, obviously you'll get free access to that for the first 2 weeks. And then, of course, it's a quarterly subscription after that. The other question, actually, the reason why I'm moving it earlier for 2 reasons. One, the E-mini Think Tank said noon Eastern is going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern. There'll be more activity, obviously, then. So you'll be able to get involved in the markets and it'll be a little bit more movements there. The other reason why I'm doing that is I'm also going to be doing a live session for Jace. Oh, there it is. I was just about to post that. Thank you. For the E-mini Think Tank, I'm sorry, for the Wealth with Spreads, we're going to do that at noon. And it's going to be our first live session together where we're going to be doing trade, how to route trades and things like that. Also an open Q&A. So it's going to be our first live session that we have. And we're going to be doing those live sessions in Wealth with Spreads on a regular basis, probably every 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. That way people can get questions answered and get a little more familiar with the types of trading. Wealth with Spreads is a little different, though, than E-mini Think Tank. With E-mini Think Tank, we're doing a lot of intraday trades. And that'll be January 8th. So it's all on the 8th. It's going to be a busy day because I've got 9 a.m. for the E-mini scalping bonus session. The Wealth with Spread session will be at noon Eastern. And then, of course, you got Rob's session mastering the trade pop bonus at 8 p.m. So, you want to squeeze date night in there at some point, you probably can in the afternoon.
Exactly.
But,
Brandon, how is the Wealth with Spreads going?
It's going great. Actually, it's a little bit different, like I said, than what we do with the E-mini Think Tank. E-mini Think Tank, we're there in the fire, putting in trades intraday as well as some swing trades. Wealth with Spreads is designed to be a little bit more passive, where you're creating time for you to do other things rather than sitting in front of the computer all the time. So we're looking at longer term swing trades and even investment opportunities where the video comes out once a week, and I've been putting it out early because of the holiday. So it's going to be out on Wednesday rather than on a Friday or Saturday this time. And it describes all the trade ideas for the week, and some of them last a lot longer, obviously, but it allows you to have time to dissect the information, then place the trades as they come in. We also have an SMS service that basically alerts people as to when to enter the positions or adjust the trade opportunities. So when you need to adjust to, stops and things like that, we've been doing really well right now. Let's see. I was just looking at the tracking not too long ago. We're running at I think it's about a 70% win rate. Yeah, about 66.67%. So we're positive we've only been doing this for a couple of weeks, and it's really positive and been getting a lot of really good feedback. Like I said, we're going to be doing that live session to kind of tie loose ends together and make people feel a little more comfortable with the information and how to digest it and utilize that info. But it is really designed for people who want to free up their lives and not be sitting in front of the computer all the time.
Fantastic. That is great. And, Brandon and I've told Brandon what we're working on here. I brought it up just to share with you guys. So on the Wealth with Spreads page, what's going to happen is we're going to put a Twitter-like feed on here. So basically, I think it's the last 20 text messages that Brandon sends out will just kind of automatically populate on this page and keep knocking the oldest one off, which 20 messages is going to be about a week or so, half a week, somewhere in there, that range. But if you missed something, you were in a tunnel, you didn't get your message, whatever, you'll be able to see all those messages will be on our members area as well. So my meeting with the developer is this afternoon, and then I'll be able to get a better understanding of when that comes in. But he's pretty close to getting that complete, he said, when we spoke last week. So I'm excited for that. That is great. Did you? How were the numbers last week? Did you run all your numbers already?
I'm actually still in the process of doing that, and there's a bunch of open trades still and a couple pending that haven't hit yet. Remember, these are looking at longer time frames. So we've got a trade open from the 20th. That was the Aussie versus Swissy. I'm sorry, no, Aussie versus Canadian dollar as a swing trade. And right now, let me just check that real quick. Where's your paper trading, live trading? There it is. That one is up. Let's see, whoops, looking at the wrong one. That one's up about $390. And it was really nice because the investment itself was $1,200. So you're already up of almost 25% rate of return on your investment. And we're not anywhere near our target yet. So it's doing really well. Got another one that just entered today that's on the, now these are spread trades. So you're trading two securities, not just one. We just entered into a short on the NASDAQ versus the Russell. So we're trading the changes in pace between those two securities because they've been moving in opposite directions. So rather than just doing a directional trade, you actually have higher probability because you can have a win even if the securities don't go in the right direction. That's the neat thing about spread trading. You have multiple opportunities for potential profits without being right in the direction. So, I'm never right. I'm married, so I got used to that. And that, but it's kind of neat to be able to play these types of trades where you're not directionally bound. You're just trying to find high probability opportunities. And yeah, like I said, last week, I've got a couple of wins there. This one was about a 35% rate of return on the soy oil. Did another one on soybeans that netted about a 13% rate of return in a week. So it's kind of nice to have those types of returns. And they're passive where you just set up the trades and let them go.
Fantastic. Well, Brandon, hey, I appreciate you jumping in here and giving us a quick update. And thank you for answering those questions.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, sir. Hey, Patrick, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Fantastic. So guys, here is the follow us page. Make sure that you are. I did see a bunch of subscribes come through this morning on YouTube, which is great. Names that I didn't recognize. So make sure that you guys are, and that may not mean anything. That just could be someone that's in here that used a different name to register. But make sure you guys are registering for the various social media platforms that we have. I've got a lot of content goes out on a regular basis. And those of you that are in Mastermind Group, make sure you're checking out the Facebook posts that we put up there on a regular basis also. All right, so let's start off first with checking out what the market is doing. So we've got the Dow is up 216, the NASDAQ's up 101, and the S&P is up almost 32 points. Hoorah. That is awesome. Good moves, all of it, or most of it is going to be based on what's happened with the president. But can somebody tell me, today is the second day of what? And I'll just give you a hint. It's not of a holiday. Today is the second day of what? Does anybody know? Today is day 2 of what? And I don't mean day 2 of 3 or day 2 of 8. Day 2 of what? Of what event is today day 2? My fail died. You got it, Pat. Patty, yep, you got it. Kevin, bunch of you. I can't see them all, guys. Gerald, good. So today is day 2 of officially the Santa Claus rally, right? The true Santa Claus rally is the last 5 days of the year. and the first 2 trading days of next year. On average, in the last 45 years, I think it was, on average, the move was 1.4% for that 7-day time period on the overall markets. So there tends to be happier times. People are in a better mood. They're not as upset. There's less newsy type things coming out, certainly less negative type news coming out. No one wants to ruin their sales and stuff at the end of the year and crush their earnings or anything for how the year end went. So this is the end or the beginning of the Santa Claus rally. So keep that in mind as we go through. Will you see lighter volumes? Generally, you tend to see lighter volumes in this last week. I tend to not do a whole lot of trading in the last 2 weeks of December. Right now, last week into this week, I check out if something is setting up properly. I look at all my candidates every day. If something is setting up, I'll consider it for the next day. But I am very heavily focused on everything else in my life. All the stuff that I ignore so often through the year really gets my most attention right now. To me, this is all family. These 2 weeks is nothing but family. That's the whole goal here is just that. So, but overall today, things are moving nice, right? I did a training in Trading You, ROTI. Does anybody know what it stands for? And I'm going to take it off the screen and write it while you guys are typing it in, which ROTI. Nobody? Some of you know what ROI is, right? Good. Okay, just takes a little bit longer to type. I get it. Right? It is return on time invested. ROTI. Return on time invested. Okay? In other words, the amount of time that you put into something, what kind of return are you getting out of it? I'll give you an example. I have a boat. We have 2. I own one outright myself, and my uncle and I own a much larger one, which we use for bigger stuff like deep sea and things like that. So, but we own it together. But my own boat is a Grady White, and it's a fishing boat, right? And every year I put in dozens of hours getting it prepared. I go and spend 100+ hours a year on the boat fishing, right? I buy bait. I pay the maintenance on the boat. I've got a really cheap price on the boat because we're the oldest yacht club in New York. We're in Brooklyn by Canarsie Pier. We're the oldest yacht club in New York. It's a cooperative, so you've got to work, you've got to help out at the club and do things and clean up and whatever it is. But I put all this money into the boat. I spend all this time on it, but I don't get the return I get out of it is not financial. The return that I get out of it is personal. It's enjoyment, right? It is pleasurable. But my return on time investment is not financial there. It actually costs me money. For many of you, you know the definition of a boat. It's a hole in the water that you dump money into, right? And that's exactly what this is, right? I have people at the marina with us, at the club with us, that left their boats in, and through some of this weather we had through the fall, we saw 2 boats at our club go underwater. Were tipped over in the slips. Were tipped over and were taken down underneath water. Right. One of them, there were club members down there. It took them about 15 hours to get the thing lifted back up out of the water again. And then that doesn't include all the, getting the salt out of everything and all that great stuff. Yeah, it wasn't even the bilge pumps. It was the weather, Alexander. It was just the wind was all over the place. Boats were rocking. The waves were breaking over the back, and bring out another 1,000. Exactly, Robert. Now I love it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love a boat. It's enjoyment to me. But when I look at my return on time invested, it's not financial, right? When you look at your job, you trade hours for dollars, right? And that's part of what I want to talk about here. So let me grab paint and let's use this, right? So let's see if we can't, get something a little bit wider. Okay. Oh goodness, that might be too big. Let me see. Oh, that is ugly, huh? Can we just get a I'll just use a pencil. That's fine. All right. So if you look at, and I'm going to do my best, right? If this is a clock, right? If I ask you the question, time is, what would your answer be? Time is what? No, Patrick, I don't mean what time is it. Thank you though. But probably 2:15 maybe, but thank you. Oh, Trip, you were right on it, my friend. Erica, you're on the right track. Oscar, you got the right idea in there. Okay, most of you gave the answer I expected, right? Time is money. Time is money. And we've been taught that. And you learn these things from a very young age. Time is money. You know, put in the hours. Yeah, you're working overtime, but look at what you're making, right? I have my cousin who I love dearly. Him and his wife, and when I consider him my cousin too. His wife is my first cousin, my aunt's daughter, right? Her husband, Anthony, is like a cousin. He does more for me than many family members have done for me in my life. And he's a phenomenal guy. He's an engineer, probably one of the smartest guys that I know, especially when it comes to the technical stuff. When I got to figure something out, he's the guy, right? He's my go-to. He works for New York City, and I won't say what he does or where he is, but he's an engineer. And he's putting in, I mean, massive is an understatement, massive overtime. He works an afternoon shift. He starts at 2 p.m. He puts in his hours from there, right? And he works an 8-hour shift. And now they've got him on overtime. He's working double shifts. He worked Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. He's working New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Thanksgiving, my cousin cooked, brought all the food to the job, and they ate at his job when he had his lunch, right? So in a half an hour, they had to get in and get out for having Thanksgiving dinner. His paycheck, he's killing it. He is crushing it. Double time and a half for the weekend, for the holidays, right? He's crushing it. But I talked to my cousin and she'll tell me how much she misses him and she never gets to see him. The money's great. Yeah, we can use the money, but he's changing time for dollars. Okay? What I really want you to look at is not time is money, but I want you to look at it slightly differently. Time is, not Tim. Time is greater than money, right? Because you only have 40 hours in a week. You only have so many hours in a year. You only have so many days on this earth, days, weeks, months, years, whatever you want to quantify it as. I know of nobody upon their deathbed who said, man, I wish I would have made more money when I was alive. You know, but before this, I wish I would have made more money to pass it to my heirs. It's all, I wish I would have spent more time. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. So I need you to start looking at the things you're doing trading related that you may be wasting money with. Things that you're doing trading related that maybe you could do easily or differently. And a great example would be when I first started trading, there was a charting program out there called TC2000. I'm pretty sure it's still on the market. It's a much different program than it was. You paid by the symbol. You paid, if you wanted 10 symbols that you wanted to see every day, you paid $1 per symbol for the month. So you paid $10 for the month. If you wanted to see 20 symbols, you paid $20. If you wanted all the symbols, you paid $30 a month for the data. End of day only is all it was. That's all it was available when I started in 97. Excuse me. And there were students that were at the same training that I was at that said, nope, I call my broker every day and I get the closing price of the market and I plot it out on a piece of graph paper. Could you imagine every day doing this and drawing a line? And then tomorrow doing that and drawing another and doing this on 20, 30, 50 stocks instead of paying for a data service or putting some money into a brokerage account to get access to the data, right? It's insane what some people will do to go and save $1, right? A company that I taught with, they had a website that was a back-end website. It was a membership site. And much of the stuff that was on there was free. Right? Meaning you could go find similar information somewhere on the market. And I remember teaching one of the workshops. It was a 2-day-long workshop. And teaching one of the workshop, and one of the students came back. We were in Texas. One of the students came back, and they came back for their second time. I had seen them before. And they chose not to use that subscription service because they said, and I told them right up front, you can get a lot of this on your own. They chose not to use it because they wanted to do it on their own. And they came back and we start the class at 8 o'clock. And here it is 7:30 in the morning. And I see them running a credit card at the back table. That's what's going on. And she said, yeah. You know, you told me I should get this. And I told you I could do it on my own. I said, yeah, you can. I'm not faulting you for that. She said, yeah, but I'm spending 6 hours a day to come up with the same information that basically they gave me a one-day trial to look on the inside of the software and I could do what's in there in 10 minutes. Yes, Robert, exactly. Right. So return on time invested, you know, right now, so many people look at cash as the most valuable asset, and it's not. It's your time. It's absolutely your time. You know, when I tell you guys that if I don't feel like shaving today, I ain't going to shave because I don't have to impress anybody, right? If I don't feel like trading today, I'm not going to trade. I don't have to. Okay. My goal, my job here for me is not money first. Money falls number 3 for me, right? Money is actually the third one on my list, right? For me, it is faith, family, money. That's my order of the levels of importance. Faith, family, money. Oh, Rob, I don't believe in this, or I don't do that, or it's just me. This. Listen, you've got to make your choices of what's important to you. Okay. Money is the means to the end. It's not the thing I want to do all day long. You know, I do a lot of my strategies, retirement wise, a lot of my strategies are the covered calls, the diagonal spreads, the things like that, right? That's a lot of my strategies that I put out there. All right. Well, that I do. Why? Because I set them up. I walk away. They last a couple of weeks, a couple of months. I don't have to do anything on a regular basis. I've got to sit in front of a computer, my finger over a button all day long. Now, don't get me wrong. I do some of that, but my day used to be sitting at a computer from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, and I didn't leave. I ate breakfast, I ate lunch at the computer. 7 o'clock at night is when we ate dinner. 6:30, whenever it was, I'd go inside and I'd be done for the day. And then heavens forbid, futures came along, or I was introduced to them, and then I was in front of the computer all the time. But I gave up my job where I was working in manufacturing, and I was making really good money in the market, but now it's a job all over again. I'm sitting there doing it all day long. I don't want to sit there and do it all day long. I want to get to a point that I can put as many strategies on, let them set up and work, that I can walk away. Now, I still enjoy the day trade components. I look for it every day. I still spend an hour and a half-ish in the market on a regular basis of trading outside of my setting up and checking my candidates at night, which takes me about 5 to 10 minutes of what I want to do for the next day. All of that is pretty simple for me to go through, right? But don't look at, here, I'll give a great example. How many of you, one for yes, just a one only if you would, how many of you are trading the Pop 5K strategy that I've introduced in a couple of different places? I taught it in our premium events, but how many of you doing anything with the Pop 5K? And let me just go back and try to, I shouldn't have done that one, asking a question, trying to go back and, let's see. All right. Trying to go back and see questions that came in. Okay. So this is all related to time. It's a valuable gift. Barry said, I used to do this listening and graphing from a kid from a newspaper in the 70s. Yeah, we did it in high school, right? Well, we had to do that in a math class. Exactly. Patrick said, it just sucks that there are so many scammers out there who will teach you how to trade. Yep. Or give you a system that works. Exactly. All right. Okay. So many people, I got many ones, right? Two and a half screenfuls of ones came across on my text chat, right? Now, I want you to think about something. If you had to go and figure that system out on your own, give me a 3 if you could have done it from when I taught it to you until when you started to practice it. Could you have done that on your own? Give me a 3 if you could have done all of that same work that I did, if you could have done that in that same period of time. Okay, Sarah just said 4. I said no, right? She's doing 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for yes, 4 for no. Exactly. not a 3 in there. Why do I say this? Why do I bring it up? It's not about pop 5K. That's not why I'm bringing this up. All right. That's an example because I know a lot of you are trading that strategy, right? The reason I am bringing that up is this. That strategy came along inside one of the premium memberships that I teach, which is Power Option Plays, right? And it's also part of our mastermind group. It's actually a focal point of what I do in mastermind is that type of, quicker turnaround type training where I don't have to spend as much time doing it. Set it up, put my exits in place, walk away, right? Was it worth the investment? You guys that are in POP or saw this through Mastermind, was it worth the investment of whatever you invested into that program? Was it worth it for you just for that strategy alone? Give me a 1 on those if it was, right? And there goes my screen, absolutely blowing up with 1s. Amos typed in absolutely. Everybody else is just typing in 1s. Folks, the whole point behind this is that was an investment. Yes, it costs cash. Yes, you may be strapped and trying to figure out how do you pay for it? How do you get it done, right? How do you make it work? I'm not trying to put anybody in a financial situation that they can't afford to live. But if you're in that situation today and you're struggling saying, goodness gracious, what do I do? I mean, this is a couple $100. I don't know if I can afford to do this. And I'm not faulting you if that's the case. By all means, you do what's important in your life, right? You take care of you first. Your money will not make any difference in my life if you invest in one of our programs. So don't worry for me. What I want you to think about is what is different for you the next time around, next week, next month, next year, which is just a couple of days away next year. What's different? What will be different if you don't do something different? Right? There's a good friend of mine who went on to work with the last company I taught for. He went on to work for that company. And I met him as a student at the very first workshop. And I can tell you right now that the button-down shirt that I wore that day, I still have that shirt that I wore that day. And I guarantee you, if I went and pulled it out of the closet, my left shoulder is still soaking wet from the tears in this man's eye, trying to figure out, can I afford to not do this, is what it was. That day, that second day of the event, he found out that they had cut his commission between 10 and 15%. He was a salesperson at his job. The house he lived in was owned by the church. He asked them to tell him when they were selling it. They didn't. They sold it out from under him, and he got a 30-day eviction notice while he's in the second day of the event, right? He doesn't know if they're going to cut commissions again. They were barely getting by as it was, and he's trying to figure out if he makes the investment in himself to become, to better his own life, right? And he ultimately made that choice. He made that decision to do that. And David went on to not only become a great trader, but he also learned how to get involved with real estate, more cash flow strategies, and has now built himself an empire of cash flow, right? Between market and real estate. Again, point being is, I know everybody's not in a situation of I can afford a few $100s a month, a quarter, a year, whatever it is for a system. But I need you to start looking at things of, was it worth the 5 hours you spent shoveling if you could have used that time somewhere else to make money? Would it have been worth paying somebody? I mean, for me, doing yard work, mowing the grass, there's no way in God's great earth I'm mowing the grass ever again. Sold off everything we have. I mean, I got shovels and stuff in the garage, but I have no lawnmower. I've got no edger. I've got a blower because my wife wants the backyard clean when we have company coming over. But other than that, I hire someone to do it. I could do plumbing, but I'll pay someone $100 to go and change a faucet or a washers. And why do I want to spend 2 hours working on that? Right. And it took a long time for me to get to that mindset. This year alone in our own business, and again, this is me opening up to you of my faults, right? In our own business, you go back to 2019, I did everything I possibly could without hiring someone on the outside. Everything I could to not hire somebody. I did it. What did that mean? 12 hours, 14 hours, 16, 18-hour days, sleeping 4 hours a night, right? This year, we brought on 4 people, and it might be number 5 this week. There's another person that we'll bring on. She's already a yes. I just need to call her and have my conversation with her, but she's already a yes. All right. I had to allow myself to do that. And our business has exploded. Our trading has exploded. Our business has exploded. Everything. Right? Everything. Yeah, Robert said I was on the lawn yesterday, relaxing on my deal. And again, Robert, you were doing this on a Sunday, right? If that's your thing, then that's okay, right? I want my lawn mowed on a Friday, So it's ready for the weekend, right? Friday morning, my guy comes and we're ready for the weekend. He doesn't come Thursday. He doesn't come Saturday. It's got to be Friday morning. He knows if he doesn't come Friday morning, don't bother coming back the next week. We're done, right? This is when I want it done. I'm paying you. I pay a premium. You get it done. I never question them. You know, they come in with a really low price of $25 a week for the mowing, but then there's the bushes and the chemicals and the cleanups and the this and the that. And at the end of the year, it comes out to be a bigger number. But to me, do I really want to thatch my lawn and spend 5 hours? No, not at all. Not at all. Scott said, thanks to your mentorship, I am now thinking of walking away from my job and implementing the trading plan that I have been working on. Excellent, Scott. I am so excited. I told you, I can feel how close to the edge, to the cusp you are at making this work, right? For you. Truly, truly know that it's possible for you. Guys, start getting away from the mindset of time is money, because it's not. All right. Time is greater than money. You need to start looking at where you can make an investment in yourself, whether it's mowing the lawn or whatever it is, to free up the hours that you can go ahead and have for trading and have for the other things that are so important to you. Yeah, I didn't get to any of the candidates yet, Steve. I'll take a look at it in a second. I did see you put something in there, but that's about 12 pages back. So if you could drop in that comment again, I'll gladly take a look at it. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let me go ahead and get my mouse back. All right, let's minimize this and this. All right. So as the new year comes, start looking at things that you can do differently. Right? If you guys are interested in things like that Santa Claus rally, let me see if I have the page open. Oh, I do. I've got the website open. If you go to trading resources on the website, they were supposed to change it out. Hopefully they did. You go to books. All right. So here you go. Stock Traders Almanac 2021. I have 2020 right here. 2021 didn't come in. It's 192 pages, and it is absolutely amazing. Talks about what to expect in the market by day, what to look at for patterns by month. There's just a ton of information, including things like Santa Claus rally and stuff like that in there, right? Yes, this is an affiliate thing. We get a small, 1% of what you buy, but we also donate to the charities that are on our homepage, which you probably should put on here also. But the charities that are on our homepage, we donate to as well. And those are they're at the very bottom of the page, right? St. Jude's, ASPCA, Wounded Warriors. We take the monies, we split them up, we send it out there. So, and consider doing that as well. As you start making money, guys, consider starting to pay it forward, give it back to others. All right, let's bring TradeStation back. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Enough of my high horse. I hope this helped to open your eyes a little bit. And if you're in Trading, make sure you go back and watch the return on time invested training that I did in there. It's fantastic, right? I didn't talk about time is greater than money in there. This was actually something that came up at one of my mastermind groups by one of the individuals that were presenting there. Talked about time is greater than money. And I've known it. I've just never really talked about it in the same way. So, all right. So let's go take a look at some stocks. So Steve, what did you want to tell me about QRVO? I saw something in there, but just copy and paste the last message that you sent me on QRVO. Let's see. And I'll wait. I'll come back to it. Let me go and jump forward while you're grabbing that. So let me go ahead and, all right. So Baidu, just rocking on, baby. 200 seems to be its ceiling right now. I think we've had enough of a pullback in here that it is time for us to look to draw. All right, so let's come off of here. I want to see this one first. We had the 236 there. Yeah, we're gonna come right off of the first one. Oops. Okay, So let's see, 185 and 201 is 16 points. My Fibot is 16, so I don't need one there, but I definitely am going to need a negative 136. So let's go add that in. All right, so who was that? That was Trip. Okay, so Trip, we're looking at that 200, 201 level. So we've only got $5 left to get there from where we are now. If it breaks above, we're looking at 210. So there's definitely some room on this. On Micron, and remember, guys, you got to go and check earnings on all of these and so forth. We're getting ready. Actually, Alcoa's earnings is coming up on, let me get my cross here. Alcoa's earnings is coming up. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but on January 20th. That's the unofficial start. That's the unofficial start to the earnings season. All right. So just as an FYI, Micron. All right. So Trip, you know, we had a great gap up right to resistance at 72 and a pullback. We've got the Fibon in there. We're only looking at about $4 of movement on, let's see, 69 and a half, 74 and a half, 5. Yeah. So we've got about $4 movement on the Fibon. Yeah, 494. So tough one with the 8 where it is, maybe above the 72 up to 74, but it doesn't give us a whole lot of room. So, but that's the next target for it. Thanks, Trip. Earnings Whisper says Alcoa is the 13th of January, but still unconfirmed. All right. Let's see. And Steve was saying QRVO. All right. Sell puts the January 15. It's not, well, it wouldn't be 15. Jan 1, the Jan 15 160. I guess I'm a little confused, Steve. I know you probably tried to retype it in quickly. Okay, so let's open this up. Let me just get this option chain. All right, QRVO. So you're looking at the January 160 puts. I'm not seeing it, Steve. What am I missing? You wrote down Jan 15/160. There isn't a $15 put. But my goodness gracious. I mean, you can go sell the 47. Nah, they're not going to give it to you. Too big of a spread. But you can go sell the 65s. And I mean, you're going to get $1.20 for it. Heck, you could sell the 55s and get 80 cents without even trying to negotiate spread. Oh, I'm on Jan 22. My bad. 15th. Now I got it. Okay. Thanks, Joan. Got it. So what Steve was talking about is selling the 160s. No wonder they were such great premium. I'm getting ready to pause class so I can go jump out and take a look at those numbers. So Steve was talking about the 160s picking up $2.75 right now. It's 60 by 80. So 270 is what they're quoting them at as a mid price in there. Let's go look at the chart. What do these guys do? Does anybody know? QRVO Inc. One. I mean, we're away from the moving averages. That's not helping us any. We've had great runs up there. You do have the recent swing high here, which we tend to hit today. So a little caution just with that recent high. I don't know what else we've got back here. Nothing. All right. Have we had anything that high? No. We're trading since 2015. Yeah, overall, nice run. So Steve said QRV. Oh, got it, Steve. Okay, just making sure I didn't read it wrong. QRVO is one of 3 chip makers for 5G. Okay, which their earnings catapulted them right there. They were sitting at 130-ish before earnings, and they're closer to 170 now. So I would just watch that 170 90 level. We actually can draw our fib. It won't matter. We'll go from this right here because it's the same level. All right, come on. I just don't want to pull the fib over it. So 64.70. Yeah, we don't need fibbits in there. So above this, Steve, if we break out of that zero line of that 171-ish level, 179 is the next target to the upside. So, and your downside protection is down about 64. There's great confluence with the 8 in there. And if you're selling the 160s, you've got some room. You do move $9.50 a day, so we got to be careful there. But yeah, I like them. I like it. Too bad that January wasn't the one for this January, the one I was looking at for next year for 22. All right. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Steve. Let's see. Larry's asking for Autodesk. So Autodesk, we've got this trend going up, right? Nice trend. And now we're kind of hugging at the top of that range. I do like that we're able to maintain above the 8 moving average. But this little cluster here is a little concerning. So the first thing I think of, Larry, is look left. So this is an F5 zoom on Trade Nav. Let's unscrunch. Let's go to F6, F7, F8, F9, weekly. Yeah, we got nothing there. So slamming the doors. So there's nothing up here telling us, ooh, we think that there's, historical reasons back there for price point anyway. But let's see, this fib. Well, this fib has been violated, so that's gone. We've got this in here. I don't have a real good place to draw the next fib. I mean, we could come off of here, I guess is not bad. So we're just pressing our head into that 382. So there's those of you that were in E-mini Think Tank before Brandon was teaching and we came up with that pressure cooker trade. There's the same concept right there. We're kind of moving in this sideways pattern. We're waiting to see if we can get a breakout to the upside. All right. If it does break, Larry, 317, we also need a 300 level on this as well. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, wow, I snapped it right at 300. Go figure. I said it and it happened. Well, that's not normal. All right, so there's our 300 level. So a lot of clustering there. 300 level, 301.62, 298.04, which is the 8 moving average, all sitting right up in that spot, Larry. So good potential right there. Right, if you get the break above that, you've got that 306.5 and then 317. If we break above that 306.5, break, retest, bounce, potential entry there. And then the second one was LMND. So newer company, Larry, sometime in 20. Oh, Lemonade. Okay. Yeah, All right, enough said. Okay. Tilray, $300, $8.59. Right? Was 300, now it's 8.59. Be careful. Be careful with companies that have this daily. Okay. With companies that have this kind of, straight up type movement, straight up tends to be straight down. So caution in there. With that being said, let's do this. I look at this one and go, yep, definitely challenging visually to me for drawing fibs. So let's make it as clear as possible for us. What does that mean? Well, if we could find the mouse again, there we go. V bottom, another V bottom, another V bottom. So a bit of a stair step in there. All right, we've got a good V top. And we have another V top. So what it looks like to me is either A or B is the one we want to draw the fibs from. Which one? I don't know yet. Let's see. So if we go ahead and grab the dollar difference tool and look here, remember, we're looking for the largest move closest to the right side of the chart. We had that move up, back down to here. So $49, look at that, almost to the penny. Almost to the penny between the two of them. Now what? Well, if they're almost to the penny, then we want to draw off of the one that is closest to the right side of the chart. We're not, if you look here, let's grab the pen again, right? This was our V top in here. Actually, our V top would have been here, and then we just put a new one in. So we're going to draw off of that wick here as our starting point. So let's grab the Fibonacci support and resistance tool. Here to here. And what's the very first thing we do, right? We check to see if we need Fibbits. We check for 100-point levels, right? So what do we have here? This is 125 to 137. That's 12 points. Right? My Fibbit is 20. I don't need to put a line in there. 137 to 151. That's 14 points. I don't need a Fibbit in there. Do I need a 100-point level in there? Absolutely, I do. Oh, not what I want to do. Let's go ahead. I always change color. I just use the last one that's in my reds. I go ahead to the dash dot, and I'll just change it to 100. Okay. So now, Larry, we spent a lot of time looking at it, right? But look what's going on here. We actually have an inverted or an upside down H pattern now. Right? If we can get the balance off that 106, look for 112 and 117, almost 118 as your two targets. Ideally, we'd want to close near that. Now, with that being said, before we make that call, let's go back to the template that has our moving averages on it. Well, and if we get the bounce off of here, I'm okay with it on this side as well, right? Bouncing off the 50. I would actually enjoy it off of the 50 because I've got a confluence of the 8. So we're looking at 118 and 125 as our two targets. Very, very nice. All right, let me see. All right, I'm getting a couple messages in here. Patrick, this is a live session now. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Power Hour is always live. We don't do anything recorded here. It's always live. Let's clear that off. Oh, did I get rid of the chat box by mistake? Okay, I don't know why I knocked it down. All right. Larry, I hope that was helpful. Jones asking for Netflix. All right, shows earnings coming up. I forgot the date. We'll be checking them this weekend in Pop. But 19th is what it shows here. Netflix is in a bullish neutral bias right now, Joan. I love where the 8 is. Get me above that 520.66 using your entry rules. And you're looking at 541 as your resistance level, as your target. So plenty of room on Netflix, but I need to close above the 521 level first. That's number one. All right. Apple. We've got an open trade on Apple right now. So you could, oh, come on, baby. What happened? Where did we go? Where did we go? Where did we go? We're going to be looking at 137. We had a high today of 136.40. So not quite, but our second target is 137. We missed it by 60 cents so far, right? Day's not over. Life's looking good for it. This would be, we only did 4 contracts. We already sold 2. This would be a 1 contract exit. And then we'll manage the last contract beyond that. Whew. Very nice. I like it. So if you're not in it already, Joan, it's tough without a pullback to that 132 possibly as the entry or getting above the 138. And then PayPal is the next one. All right, let's see. Holy mackerel. Let me see. All right, PayPal. So let's get a little bit of a picture. Mouse. There we go. All right. Come on. I don't know why. It's giving me such a hard time today. All right, there we go. So great move on PayPal. Obviously, COVID stock, people spending more money using online currency. All right, we had a bit of a channel for about 5 or 6 months, 8 months, whatever it was. And it's just taken off since early in the fall. So where is it now? It's at the negative 618. So when I look at it, Joan, look where the 8 is in relation to the fib line. Look what's happening with the recent highs. Right? We have our moving averages. If the 8 continues to flip over, that means we're going to start seeing some lower lows in this recent pattern. If we can hold where we are and break above the 142.15 level, we're looking at 278. Now we'd have to split this level in half. We would definitely need to fib it in there. We don't really have a good enough pullback here to redraw. We have a nice move up, sideways, nice move up. This has all been sideways. If we get more of a pullback, we'll redraw. If not, snap a fib in there for the center line. All right. Thanks, PK. We'll take a look at that. Erica's asking for Airbnb. Yeah, just too new of a company for me. I mean, there's the start of the ADX, right? So it's had a nice run up, pull back. Is it even optionable yet? Is it AR? I forgot now. Too new of a stock. ARNB. Okay. No, it's not optionable. All right. So just caution. It's a brand new stock. I'm not a fan of any of those, like that. So let's see. Patrick said, if you see Seattle's best coffee on the shelf and are interested, don't get it. It's the worst. Okay, thanks. I don't drink coffee, so we would never have that problem. I couldn't imagine me on caffeine. All right, so Tesla. Let's see, Roman. So we had down as a day trade in there today. Might have gotten a bounce. Depends on how it worked off that 665.40 level. We might have gotten the entry, depending on timing and movement. But 688.70 is our resistance level, right? And then 700 just above that. So I like the 8 to be a little closer to the fib line. Let's see. Looking to buy shares on Airbnb. Yeah, you know, good or bad, I can't say. I mean, this is an emotion play right now, is all it is. Right? State of California asked Airbnb to restrict rentals and numbers of people in California. They can't force them, but they asked them to because of COVID. So, you know, good or bad, I don't know. But they are saying that people are more interested now in going to a home than they are to a hotel where it would be clean, hopefully, and taken care of and so forth, right? Less rules, less regulations is the bad thing. Yeah, Trip, you might be right with the Fibbits. Let's see. Scott's asking on Apple on the 5-minute chart looks like to be making a bullish and it's about ready to test the highs. Let's go check that real quick, Scott. Okay. Yeah, so I think you were talking about the intraday highs, right? I mean the all-time highs. So the all-time high, at least on here, was today, right? Which would have put it at 136.40. Right. So yeah, right in that cluster right there. So Scott, what's the technique there? Right. You got to think about what's your attack mode? What's your method of attack? Right. If this, and I'll just draw a line down here for no other reason than to have a line, right, to work off of. If that's our line, if this line represents this line. No, let's not use that. If this line represents this line here, right? And these prices, these candles are these candles right here, right? Where we've hit up into this top, all right? And right now we're just starting to get a breakout. So ideally, what do I want to see happen, Scott? I want to see it close up here, retest and bounce with a stop somewhere down in here. Oh, were you asking, Trip, or I thought you were telling me? Scott, does that make sense? Okay, both. Well, that's just it, Patrick. Patrick said better odds, I guess. It's exactly what it is. It puts us in a better position to take the trade. I like the retest more than I like the breakout. Scott said, yeah, I'm going to pop trade with Apple. Okay. Yeah. So let me just do this real quick as we're wrapping up here. Trip was saying he thought we needed Fibbits on both sides. We may need Fibbits of Fibbits, Trip. We may need more than just a Fibbit in there because we've got 13 points. So if we go 20 to 42, let me do this. Let's get a, all right. So 20 to 42, that would be 22, that would be 11. So we'd be good with a Fibbit in here, Trip, just splitting it with a 50 right there. Up here, we probably need more. On the top, we probably need Fibbits of Fibbits, right? We've got 42 to 60, that's 18. So we need to add the second set of Fibbits in here on PayPal. All right. Right. So Patrick said, I like the retest as well. The market seems to let you back in, not always, but a lot more than not. And what happens is it prevents me from getting in on fake breakouts. If I miss them, I miss them. Nothing I can do about that. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of a year, right? 2020 is in the books for me with Power Hour. We'll be back in 2021. We'll be starting right back up, right out of the box. Whatever, January, what is that? 2, 3, 4. January 4th. We'll be right back at it, rocking it, right? So, guys, listen, take advantage of the various programs that we offer. Get yourself involved, make yourself present, right? Ask questions, participate. The only way that you're going to do this is if we could change your mindset, change the way that you think. Not only about investing versus trading, not even just about money, but about life. For some of you, you just really need to change the focus of where you're at. Some of you need a couple of things. We'll talk next year about, a little more on mindset and where the people that love you the most could be potentially hurting you the most with the advice that they're giving you. The advice that usually is not asked for and certainly is not coming from experience, right? They've never made $1 million, but they're telling you how you can do that. And you should go do that by working really hard at a 9-to-5 job. And someday you'll get promoted. Just remember, whatever your boss is paying you, they're making a lot more off of you than they are by paying you, or else they wouldn't be keeping you in that job, right? At all. Oh yeah, guys. Linda said, thanks for the 12 days of Christmas offers. Absolutely. Take a look for those, folks. You see those things starting to come out now, and start enjoying it. I saw something the other day where someone was saying about New Year's resolutions. It's time. We're at New Year's, right? And they said, I got nothing against New Year's resolutions as long as you make them on New Year's. If you make it on January 12th, then it's a January 12th resolution. If you make it December 18th, it's a December 18th resolution. In other words, you don't have to wait. If you mess up in this January and you don't follow through on your resolution, you don't go to the gym, you don't spend more time in trading, whatever. You don't spend more time with your kids. But just because you mess up, that doesn't mean you got to wait till next January. You can still step out there and just make a decision. Forget the word resolution. Make a conscious choice that you're going to do this. I want to see 2021 be explosive. I can tell you right now, no doubt in my mind, mark my words, come back in a year, and you're going to see multiple people having phenomenal success that are coming through on our mastermind plan. There's no question about it. Period, the end. So with that, have a glorious rest of your day. God bless. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, folks, you're just one trade away. Take care, and I will see you all next year. All right, folks. See you then. I'll leave the room open. Amy dropped some links in there so you guys can go ahead and grab those, and I'll see you guys at the next update. Take care.